Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, today I'm bringing you guys another massive book unboxing video. I have just had to pop that stack down because it's so heavy, but I was actually meant to film this video a few weeks back and I just never got around to it, so the stack is a little bit bigger than I would want. However, it does make it all the more fun to film this for you guys. I know you love watching them, I personally love filming them, and so it's a win-win for all of us, and we will get some sort of a surprise with what is in these packages because I honestly have no idea. I have a vague idea of what some of them are just because there are some books that I've pre-ordered in here, but other than that I am a little bit clueless, so it's going to be very fun to unbox these with you guys and see what past me bought. Before diving in, I do just want to say that it is a very gloomy day today, so the lighting may not be great throughout this video, which I do apologise for. I've done the best with what I can. I have my main lights on, I have a lamp on over there and the ring light, so hopefully it's not too distracting, but just in case I did want to mention it. However, without further ado, let's just dive into the unboxing because I cannot wait to see which books I have in this stack. Now, we're starting off with a bit of a weird one because I don't think that this is something that I have ordered or asked for. It's a package from Hachette and I held off on opening it so that I could open it in this video. So let's kind of unveil the mystery books and see what I got, because I'm assuming there's more than one. It's quite a chunky box. And there's a little sneak peek. Yes, we do have two, and these are definitely not books that I've ordered. So let's just get these out. We also have some letters here, so I will just give these a quick read. Okay, so this is a promotional package, which I did not know that I was on Hachette's mailing list, but that is extremely fun. And this is to promote Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. Now it does say publishing 19th of October 2023, so I believe that this is now out. But that's very strange because Trial of the Sun Queen is book 1 and I also have book 2, so I don't know if both are out, but I do have the first book, Trial of the Sun Queen, and then I do have the second book, Rule of the Aurora King. Just off the covers alone, I am definitely intrigued by these. The series is called Artifacts of Oranos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, I don't know what I did to deserve these, but I am extremely grateful and very excited to actually see what this one is about. All it says on the cover is 10 women, a deadly contest, so you know I'm intrigued straight away. I love any types of trials and contests in my book, so yeah, this just sounds like it is going to be my type of thing. And I will just read you the promo letter because I feel like the whole point of a promo letter is to sell the book, and that will do it better than the synopsis. Now it says, A Court of Thorns and Roses meets The Bachelor. 10 women, a deadly contest, only one can win the Sun King's heart. Law has endured 12 long years of torment under the Aurora King's rule. Her only desire is to get free and pay him back for every moment of misery she's endured. When a surprise release finds her in the hands of the Sun King, Law is thrust into the spotlight as she competes against 9 other tributes for the role of queen. If she wins his heart, she'll earn her freedom and finally get her revenge. But Law doesn't belong in the Sun Queen trials. Not only does she not understand why she was freed, she isn't a citizen of the Sun King's court. The other tributes resent her presence and will stop at nothing to ensure Law is wiped off the game board permanently. Now Law must win, because if she loses, she dies. Or worse, she'll be sent back into the hands of the Aurora King. This addictive TikTok fantasy romance sensation is perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas, Fourth Wing, Raven Kennedy and Jennifer Armentrout. Trial of the Sun Queen is the first book in a series with an eventual happy ever after. That's really cool. I love how they've put Fourth Wing instead of Rebecca Yarros because they've listed all the other authors and just put Fourth Wing in the middle of that. But I do love Sarah J. Maas. I really loved Fourth Wing, so if that's anything to go by, I should hopefully love this series. So I don't know if it's just been traditionally published now. I don't know whether it was on Kindle Unlimited first as an indie published book and it's been picked up by the publishers. I'm guessing that is the case, but yeah. Thank you so much to Hachette and the team at Orbit Books for sending these my way. I cannot wait to get to them and I will definitely be prioritising these in 2024. Next up, I am going for this one. I don't really have an order to these. I have tried to put them in the stack as soon as I've received them, so it should be going from oldest to most recent. However, I have completely lost track of time and what I bought, so we'll see what I have. This one is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. You guys may be more familiar with Rebecca Ross as the writer of Divine Rivals. It is a relatively new YA fantasy release that has taken the book community by storm. I myself have it, but I haven't yet read it, and this is actually a book that's been on my wish list for a while. I'm not sure if this is her debut, but I do also have a River Enchanted by this author as well, and the sequel might actually be in one of these boxes because I essentially panic bought her books because I was scared that they were going to go out of print and that I wasn't going to have a set of her hardbacks, which I know is a bit silly of me, but that's just how my brain works. So I did decide to pick this one up. I honestly don't really have too much of an idea of what this is about. So it does just say, the realm of Azanor has been cursed. Every new moon, magic flows from the nearby mountain and brings nightmares to life. Only magicians, who serve as territory wardens, stand between people and their worst dreams. Clementine Madigan is ready to follow in her father's footsteps as the warden of Hearswith, even though she yearns to study the wilder side of magic. Instead, she must record townspeople's nightmares so she and her father are prepared for the danger of the new moon. When her father's domain is challenged by two magicians, Clementine is drawn into a century-old conflict. She seeks revenge on one of the brothers who duelled with her father, but as she gets closer to the handsome young magician, secrets begin to rise, and Clementine, once keen on vengeance, must unite with her rival and face the realm's curse, which seems to be haunting her every turn. From acclaimed author Rebecca Ross comes a rich and nuanced story about vengeance, family, and the captivating power of dreams. So just from that last snippet, I don't think that this is her debut novel, but again, this sounds exactly like my type of book. I love magic and anything to do with dreams as well. I find it so fascinating, and so this is definitely one that I feel like I will be picking up relatively soon. I believe it's also a standalone, though I may be wrong, but I haven't really seen any other books following this. So from what I can gather, it's a standalone, which I'm definitely here for. It's a beautiful book and I'm so glad that I decided to buy it. And then I believe that all of the rest of the parcels except the last one are from Waterstones. I've said it in a previous unboxing, but when Waterstones offer double points, I do tend to try and pre-order as many books as I can, just because it means I of course get more money off in the long run. But the first book we have, oh my goodness, I'm so silly. I unboxed this book in a previous unboxing and I've just returned the book because I bought the Forbidden Planet edition because mine was just the standard edition. And would you guess what this is, you guys? Can you tell just from the sprayed edges? I'm so stupid. Oh my gosh. I bought myself 3 different copies of this book, you guys. This is why I shouldn't pre-order things, because we have the Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, and this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. Now, I was very confused because on my order form for the other book, it did say that I had bought the signed edition. However, when I checked that other copy, it wasn't signed at all. And yeah, that refers to this one, but this one does also have some sort of marking on it, which isn't great. But yeah, as I've just mentioned, I have now ordered the Forbidden Planet edition because I desperately wanted an exclusive edition of this one. But yeah, this one is signed by V.E. Schwab, which is really cool. I have actually met V.E. Schwab in person and she has signed a bunch of my books, so I'm really happy that this is also signed. The hardcover as well is super cool. So who knows, I think I will have to keep this one because I'm not sure if the 30 days are up. So Waterstones gives you 30 days from the day that I think you purchased it to return it, and I feel like my 30 days are over, so I'll have to double check if I've been charged twice. But anyway, this is V.E. Schwab's newest book, and we are set in the world of the A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, which is a very popular trilogy by V.E. Schwab, and it's one that I did love. We are following the same characters from that first trilogy in this book, so I can't tell you the synopsis of this one in case it spoils things, which it definitely will. But in the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic, we follow Cal, who is an Antari. Now, that means that he's basically a magician and he can travel between the different Londons in this world. Now, we have Red London, where he lives, Black London, which no one is allowed to go to anymore, White London, which is the kind of evil London, and then Grey London, which is our mundane London. Being an Antari is a very rare gift, and so the King and Queen of Red London have taken Cal in as their ward, and his job is to protect the prince, but also to travel between different Londons to communicate with the other rulers and make sure that there isn't any bad feelings between all the different Londons. Now, on the side, Cal also smuggles different artifacts from the other Londons and sells them on for a profit. And one day when he is in Grey London, one of his sales goes awry and he bumps into Delilah Bard, who at first tries to kill him but then ends up saving his life. And so because of this, they are essentially bonded together, and Delilah ends up going with Kel to his London, where they start to uncover more secrets about what is going on in the world, and they soon find that they are in the centre of everything and it's up to them to try and save all these different Londons. I don't know if that was a good synopsis or not. I haven't read this series in a while, but when V.E. Schwab released this, I had to pick it up. I can't wait to dive back in, though I may need to reread that first series, we shall see. But after this video, I'm definitely going to have to investigate how on earth I managed to order 2 different copies from Waterstones and another one from Forbidden Planet, because as much as I love this world, I definitely don't need that many copies. Next up is this one. I feel so weak today, guys. I've been to the gym this morning and I've been doing arms and back, so I am definitely struggling today, but oh my gosh, this is another book that I'm so excited for. You can probably tell what it is by the spine, but let me pull this out because I've been wanting to unbox this for the longest time. This is beautiful, you guys. It's Cassandra Clare's newest adult high fantasy book called Swordcatcher, and I genuinely cannot stop staring at this book. It is so beautiful. I actually received the Illumicrate edition of this book a while back and it looks like this. It is very different, and I've been desperate to do a comparison because I believe we're also getting Swordcatcher in another bookish subscription box, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with the design. But look how stunning these are and look how different they are. The Illumicrate one is a little bit more exclusive, I'd say. I feel like the only exclusive thing about the Waterstones one is that it has a bit of a different cover and it has black sprayed edges, so yeah, it's very nice to have 2 different editions of this book. It's hopefully going to be one that I end up loving because Cassandra Clare is an auto-buy author for me. City of Bones was one of the books that got me back into reading and it just reignited my love for reading, both that and the film, which honestly, the film is fantastic, and if you think otherwise, you're wrong. But yeah, I've been a fan of Cassandra Clare ever since. I actually met her not too long ago, which was honestly such a surreal moment. I have vlogged it, so I will leave that linked up above and down below if you'd like to check that out. But she was at Yelk promoting the last book in the Dark Artifices series, and she also was promoting this one, which wasn't out yet. Ooh, we have a very pretty design printed onto the book itself, which I do appreciate. The map in here as well is also really cool. I don't think it's signed, which is a bit of a shame, but I do know Cassandra Clare stamps her signature onto books. No, it's not. It's just a plain edition, but I'm very happy to have this one. I love the colour scheme, and I'm actually planning on filming a reading vlog of my experience reading this because I just think it'll be a lot of fun, especially as this is the first non-Shadowhunters book by Cassandra Clare. This one has a very long synopsis, but I am going to read it out to you just because I genuinely don't know how to describe this one. It says 2 outcasts have the power to change everything, but will they grasp the hand of destiny? In the vibrant city-state of Castellane, nobles and criminals have one thing in common: the constant search for wealth, power, and the next hedonistic thrill. Yet as an impoverished orphan, Kel's prospects look bleak until he's stolen from his old life to enter a new one of luxury and peril. He's to become Prince Connor Aurelian's body double, shielding the prince from all dangers. As his sword catcher, he and Connor will become as close as brothers. Yet Kel lives for one purpose: to die for Connor. Lancaster is an Ashkari physician, part of a community ostracised for its rare magical abilities, but after a failed assassination attempt brings her and Kel together, they are drawn into the web of the mysterious Ragpicker King, ruler of Castellane's criminal underworld. He offers each of them what they want most, but as Lynn and Kel sink deeper into his world, they uncover an extraordinary conspiracy. As long-kept secrets unravel, they must ask themselves, can forbidden love bring down a kingdom? And will their discoveries plunge their nation into war and the world into chaos? That sounds amazing, but I'm not gonna lie, it does sound pretty similar to the plot of A Darker Shade of Magic. So I will be interested to see if they are similar in plot once I actually read this one. But this has so many reviews on the back that I will be reading. I am not going to look at any reviews from other booktubers just yet, mainly because I want to dive in and experience this without any sort of judgment. And I'm so excited to do that and to film the reading vlog for you guys as well, which will be spoiler free, but will have a spoiler filled section at the end. Next up is this one. Wow, that was also a bit of a struggle, but we don't get a sneak peek of this one, so let's see what it is. This one is the other Rebecca Ross book that I was talking about, which is A Fire Endless, and this is the sequel to A River Enchanted. I have just gone ahead and grabbed the first book off of my shelves just because I feel like it'll be easier to show you guys, but this is what they look like together. I just think that they are beautiful. I'm so happy to finally have the hardcover of the second book. I believe that this edition of A River Enchanted is an Illumicrate edition. It has gorgeous stenciled edges, and unfortunately this one doesn't, but I missed out on the sale of the second book when they launched it, and so yeah, now I'm very happy to have the standard edition at least. I won't read you the full synopsis for this first book, but it just says, an alluring and rich tale at once a fast-paced mystery and a love story as warm as a hearth, and that's a quote by Ava Reid. And from what I can remember, this is a fantasy book based on an old Celtic island, and there are spirits in this world that only answer to a bard's music. Now unfortunately there is only one bard that can lure the spirits out from hiding, and that is of course our main character's worst enemy. It just says he hasn't stepped foot on Cadence in 10 long years, content to study music at the mainland university, but as Jack and Adara reluctantly work together, it becomes apparent the trouble with the spirits is far more sinister than first thought, and an older, darker secret lurks beneath the surface, threatening to undo them all. I'm gonna say this for a lot of these books, but that just sounds exactly like my type of thing. I cannot wait to get to this one, especially because Rebecca Ross is such a popular author right now, and I have heard amazing things about this book in particular. So I'm very happy to have both books in this duology, and hopefully that means I can binge them pretty soon and let you guys know my thoughts on it. Moving on to this one, let's see what we have. Oh my gosh! I wasn't aware that this one had been released yet. It's not the edition that I thought I was getting though. This has been changed, and now I'm thinking about it, I did actually receive an email about this book letting me know that it was going to be published later, and it might be because they've decided to change the design of it. But this one is The Art of Destiny by Wesley Chu, and if you have been keeping up with my unboxings, you'll know that I unboxed the first book, which is The Art of Prophecy, a few months back, and I managed to get the Waterstones exclusive edition on Vinted. This one is also the Waterstones exclusive edition, however these are not the sprayed edges that were advertised when I pre-ordered the book, so they have gone ahead and changed them, but I'm not too mad about it. It definitely fits in with the vibe, and it carries on with the artwork from the cover as well. But I do actually have the first book to hand behind me, which looks like this. Now isn't this just beautiful? I believe that the stenciled edges on the second one was meant to be something like this, but as you can see they are pretty different. Now I'm not too mad about it because again they look really pretty, and side by side they just look stunning, so I can't wait to put both on my shelves. This is another one where I don't know too much about. This is definitely becoming a theme in my unboxings, isn't it guys? I essentially pre-ordered this one because of the hype that I'd seen for the first book, Art of Prophecy, and because I got my hands on the Waterstones exclusive of the first book, that is why I decided to pre-order this one. It is a series that I do think I'm going to start in 2024, so it's always nice to have the second book to hand so that I can dive straight on into it. But essentially what I can remember from this series is that we are following our main character Wenjan, and according to a prophecy he is the chosen one, and that means that he is going to bring peace to the Empire by fighting and defeating the immortal Eternal Khan. Because of this prophecy, Jin has been raised in splendor. He has wanted for nothing, knowing that he's going to be the champion of this world in a way. However, the prophecy does actually turn out to be incorrect, and so we are dealing with the fallout from that. And even though this prophecy is wrong, our main character still has to fight against this immortal being. And it just says here, to save the kingdom, an unlikely band of heroes rise. Taishi, an old grandmaster who swore her days of battle were over, Sally, a warrior re-evaluating her allegiances, and Kasami, an assassin with questionable values. Together, the four embark on a journey more wondrous than any prophecy could foresee. So I'm hoping it's going to be a very interesting adult high fantasy series with a found family aspect and some magic, which are some of my buzzwords. I genuinely cannot wait to start this series. I'm not sure if it's going to be a trilogy or what. It does just say the War Arts Saga, so that might mean that there are more books. However, I'm very glad to have the first two. I've been waiting for the second book to arrive for quite a while now because it was pushed back, so yeah. I'm gonna have both of these on my shelves where I can proudly display them, because look how beautiful these covers are guys, as well as the stenciled edges. I'm just obsessed. Right, we have 3 more to go, so let me just try and get into this one. I'm gonna fail. Yeah. That's the first one that I've properly failed at opening. Oh no. Let's try the bottom here. There we go. Honestly, this is a workout in itself, guys. But let's see what this one is. We don't get a sneak peek, unfortunately. It's wedged in there very tightly. Right, I've managed it, and it is the Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. This is another pre-order from me, and again, it's one that I honestly don't know too much about. All I know is that it features alchemy, there are trials, and there are monsters lurking within the walls of the castle, and our main character, Zelan, has to try and deal with everything that's going on, essentially. There is a little snippet at the bottom that says, a stunning young adult fantasy set in an alternate Tang Dynasty China from the author of The Keeper of Night. Now, I haven't read anything by this author before, but the premise of this just sounded really interesting to me. And I know I'm not giving you the best synopsis, but I know that a lot of you guys don't like when people read out the synopsis of the book, so that is the best you're gonna get from me. But yes, our main character is an alchemist who has to compete in some trials and is somehow roped into the deadly games of the royal family. I cannot wait to get to this one. I don't actually know if it's a standalone or if it's going to be the first in a series. It doesn't say anywhere, so I will have to look that up, but I'm very happy to have this one and I can't wait to get to it, especially as Chloe Gong has blurbed it, because Chloe Gong is a favourite author of mine, so if that's anything to go by, I should love this book. Right, we have reached the penultimate package, you guys, and again, I am struggling today, but in here we have, I believe I know what this is actually. I think it's The Forest Grimm by Catherine Purdy. Am I correct? Yep, this is The Forest Grimm by Catherine Purdy. It's pretty beaten up though, but yeah, this is a very beautiful book. Would you guys believe it? This is another pre-order that I don't know too much about. All I know is that it's a dark, atmospheric fairy tale retelling, and that had me sold. So that is essentially why I went ahead and pre-ordered it. I know that this was featured in the YA Fairy Loot box recently, but unfortunately I am no longer subscribed to their YA subscription, so I did keep my pre-order with Waterstones, and I'm really glad I did actually, because this is a beautiful book and I feel like it is one that I'm going to really enjoy. I'm contradicting myself here, guys, but for this one I will read the synopsis. It says, once upon a time, villagers would whisper their desires to the Book of Fortunes, and its pages would reveal how to obtain them. All was well until someone used the book for evil. Afterward, the branches of the Forest Grimm snatched the book away, and the village withered. The villagers tried to make amends with the forest, but every time someone crossed its border, they never returned. Despite the warning from her fortune-teller grandmother, Clara embarks on the journey into the deadly forest to procure the Book of Fortunes, to reverse the curse and save her mother and her village. Clara's friend Axel puts aside his longing for her to join the journey. The young travellers have set their minds to defying fate and daring to accomplish what no one else has been able to before. Alas, the forest, alive with dark, deadly twists on some of our most well-known fairy tales, has a mind of its own. That sounds brilliant. I cannot wait to get to this one. It's also a short book, so I feel like it'll be one that I can fly through, and again, I'm very glad that I pre-ordered this one, and now that it's here, I'm even more excited to dive in. Right guys, we have finally made it to the last parcel, and this is a parcel from Amazon, which I can't think of what I ordered, so let's find out together. We have two books in here, and these two, yes, I can remember what these are now. We have The Gifts That Bind Us and Every Gift a Curse by Caroline O'Donoghue. These are books 2 and 3 in a series. The first one is All Our Hidden Gifts, and I actually read that one last month. I listened to the audiobook and fell in love with it, and so because of that, I went ahead and bought the next two books in the series. In the first book, we are following our main character Maeve, and one day she finds a deck of tarot cards in her school. Now, she has no idea about tarot, however, when she starts to give people readings, she actually does seem to be pretty accurate, and it seems like she is a natural at this, and so she does gain some popularity with the other kids who want to know their fortunes. However, all of this goes awry when she is forced to give a reading to her ex-best friend Lily, and a sinister card actually appears in Lily's reading, and after this Lily does go missing. It's a hard one to describe because of course we have the tarot elements to it and we also have some paranormal elements to it, but then it's also comedic and it's also a very important book that deals with a lot of LGBTQIA+ issues. So essentially I'd say if you enjoyed Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, which I did, then you would really enjoy this series, or at least the first book in particular, because that's the one I've read, that's the one I can recommend. I give it 4 stars. I had a really good time with it, and of course you can tell how much I enjoyed it because I have now picked up the second and third books. So there we have it, guys. These are all of the books that I have just unboxed for you. I'm so happy to have finally filmed this unboxing because there are some books in here that I've been desperate to get to. I feel like all of these are books that I'm going to really enjoy, and yeah, it's just a very good looking stack. So even though I went a bit overboard again, I am very happy with the books that I did buy. If you have read any of these, please do let me know your spoiler-free thoughts down in the comments. I always love chatting to you guys about the books that I've hauled, especially if you've read some of these. So yeah, please go ahead and do that if you have something to say about them. But that is it for me today, guys. If you have made it this far through into the video and would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and leave me a Queen related emoji down in the comments. The first book I unboxed was Trial of the Sun Queen, which again was very kindly sent to me, so I feel like an emoji depicting a queen would be a fitting choice for this video. I know I say it all the time, but seeing you guys comment the emoji of the video truly does mean the world to me. It baffles me that you guys watch these videos all the way through. So if you don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, but you would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and comment that now. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. But that is it for me today, guys, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!